Today on Car Traction we are headed for the Hopley House breakfast car meet, and we'll be going in a car that has not actually featured that much on the Car Traction channel. So I thought today, we included with the full walk around of all the goings on at this little breakfast car meet, let's have a little sort of look around how we actually fire up this great old flathead V8. As you can see, this 6-volt battery has been charging overnight, so the first thing to do is to get all this charging gear off. So now that we've got all the charging gear off, we're obviously going to connect the battery. Now, Dad has always had a thing about not connecting batteries in old cars. It's a bit of a safety thing, which makes sense. We've got to use the owner's patented magnet spanner. It's got a magnet on it which tracks to there. It's quite handy. It is actually, it's quite a clever thing. So obviously we're going to duct this battery. This is like a new 6-volt battery, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an Optima.
Yeah, it spins over the car very, very quickly. It's a lot better than it was. So now I think I'm going to have a go at priming the fuel. Yep. And as this is a V engine, we've got the fuel pump here on the top.
Right, it's over there, if you can see. That's it. Just keep going until
there's nothing there. Of course, priming the fuel into the new old stock carb, or the carb that actually came off the car before it was converted to like a more modern carb or something. So now we're going to come into the interior.
You'll be wanting the key, won't you?
Oh, that's a good point, that. Thank you very much, sir. So now we come into the interior. Do you think you could bring the light with you, Dad? It's a little bit dark.
Of course.
Bit of multitasking. Here we are inside the Ford V8 Pilot. Now this car's got this sort of strange
steering lock type arrangement. Just put that down there.
So the key goes in, then we turn it left. Then we've got this little thing here, so we have to flick that on, and then we can see the charge and discharge on our fuel. So we're at half fuel at the moment, so you make sure it's a neutral. T here is throttle for the choke.
Yeah, maybe
so
not
pull
full,
that out.
maybe just about 2/3 choke. I'll try that.
Okie
I'll be experimenting a little bit with that.
This car has an accelerator pump, so we do a couple of stabs on the throttle, make sure it's a neutral again, and then the push starts, and hopefully the old girl will fire up. Wow. That's not bad at all, is it?
That's not bad. Cold start.
That was an absolute cold start. It's about 6 in the morning, probably. At least it feels like it. Yeah, that's not bad at all. You could probably push the choke a little bit more. Yeah, this is a sweet, sweet engine, this one. So I think now, let's get the bonnet down and let's back the car out the garage. Later on at Hopley House car meet, we will also be joined by Mum in the MX-5 California. And at the moment, the Ford V8 Pilot is warming up, making its gorgeous V8 burble. And you may also notice that the Fergie tractor is back in its little corner over here. It's been moved out for a few weeks because the likes of Fred the Shed has come along, and obviously it would not fit through here. So now we've pushed it back here. It's not actually running at the moment, so one day we might have to try and fire it up. Made a bit of an exciting video. We did clean it yesterday, so it is absolutely immaculate for this tractor. But yeah, we got Fred the Shed, Ned the Shed, and the tractor here, and the Pilot warming up. Here's the side valve V8, the inner workings. That is a very, very smooth engine. Let's have a little look at what's here so far. It's still very, very early, but there's already a great showing of great sort of classic British cars and a few sporting cars. So this here is far from a sporting car. This is a great vintage or classic, I'd say classic, British economy saloon, the Ford Popular. I believe this car is from 1955. You can actually see similarities in the interior in this car to our car. This is very similar era, of course, to the Pilot being 1950. Things such as the handbrake lever, you can see in this Ford Pop there. Very, very similar to the style in our Ford V8 Pilot, and I remember things like that in the likes of our little Ford E4948 Anglia as well, which was the more upmarket model of this car. So yeah, Ford is sort of all very similar at this time, especially within the interiors, and you just notice these little things when you've actually lived with these cars. Dad's had a few Pops over the years, and this one is absolutely stunning. It must have been restored at some point. It's got some more modern headlamps on it. I want to say it's got like a 12-volt conversion or something, but it looks in really, really, bodywork wise, really, really straight condition. I think the car is currently being dailied at the moment, which is great to see. Of course, we've got the semaphore indicators there. Maybe these will be a very, very rare set which actually work, because most of the time even on the Pilot over there, on most cars they just go bleh and sort of don't do anything. So yeah, I'd like to see if this Ford Pop's trafficators work. That'd be interesting. And then just here is an Austin 1100. Wow, a B-Reg. This is quite early, 64. This car was originally bought in 1964 and used fortnightly until 1971. It's been in the same family since until 1990, 39,000 genuine miles. Wow, plenty of old paperwork, old MOTs. Looks like it does actually seem to be for sale, so there you go. Really, really straight looking old Austin 1100. These would have been very, very common in their day. Quite a nice driving car, I believe these are. But now this is a very, very rare prospect. Quite an early one, I want to say, on a B-Reg. Most of these you sort of see the Austin or Morris 1100 and 1300. They're usually sort of more 70s. But yeah, 64 must be quite an early car. If anyone knows in the comments when these were introduced, please let me know. We've got some interesting old speakers in the back there as well. They look like a bit of a period mod. But yeah, this is a really, really nice car. It's got a transversely mounted A-Series BMC engine. Transverse obviously quite advanced for the time. There's only really the Mini that had the transverse engine. And this did it sort of replace the Mini? Of course the Mini would have sold alongside the both BMC cars. But I want to say this was a bit more of an advanced car than the Mini, or certainly a bit more of a sort of family option. As you can see, there's loads of legroom in the back there. A really practical classic to have these days. And yeah, what a great looking little car that is. We've also got the absolutely stunning Austin A35 here. This is an absolute little beauty. Now, I did learn the other day that I believe this one has a Morris Minor engine, a 1098 A-Series. Originally, this would have had a 948cc A-Series engine, quite a small unit, but a 1098 unit out of the Morris Minor. Obviously, the Morris Minor is a much bigger car. But yeah, 1098 in this would actually go quite well. And of course, it's not really sacrilege to swap it. The engine might have been a bit tired. This car, it looks like it has had a very sort of in-depth resto, and as it's sort of another BMC engine, and it's even still an A-series engine, just a bit enlarged, I think that's alright, because it makes this car a lot more usable. But I presume it's still on all the running gear. I'm not exactly sure what gearbox type. Would we still have the Moggy Minor gearbox or the A35 gearbox? I'm not exactly sure. But this car has clearly had some form of extensive restoration, or at least I think so, because the paintwork looks absolutely immaculate and the bodywork is just as immaculate as well. It's a really stunning little car. Got a great looking sun visor, period accessory. I really like these little side lights or something. I really like how they're blended in, very streamlined design. And of course the iconic sort of really cute, very narrow as well design of the Austin A30 and 35. Of course, we've got the Mark I Lotus Cortina here, as always, looking absolutely immaculate, as always again. We've got the friendly little chap inside there. He's not on the steering wheel at the moment, but he can often be found clambering up the steering wheel of this gorgeous old super saloon of the 60s. Yeah, it's a proper concours car. Its owner says it's booked in for the Concours d'Esprit at the Alton Park Gold Cup. Hello. Yeah, stunning car, that. And just next to that we've got Grandad in the MGB GT Harvest Gold. Nice to see this one out again. He's going to try and get to a few more meets at the moment. And of course a bit of merch on the back. Not compulsory for everyone, but it should be. This is an interesting one I haven't seen before. Saab 900S Cabriolet. Probably quite a rare car, a bit of a future classic there. Very rare sight. And here's a great old Mini Clubman Estate. Now this car, I think, has had quite an extensive restoration. Listening to the owner talking about it earlier, found it as a bit of a wreck. But yeah, these Clubmans are very good looking cars, and I think especially mini estates and vans, they do look really cool. I like how it's red just mounted down there. I don't know if that's standard or not, but that looks cool. Nice little roof rack as well. Yeah, this is a great looking car. Best colour, beautiful contrast with the sort of yellowy orange and black stripe down the side. Really sort of 70s. Yeah, that's a great looking little thing. Got the A-series up front, of course. Yeah, I love the look of that.
This is what I like about classic cars. You don't know what you can.
I think we've been beaten as oldest car of the day. This is a Ford Model T 4-seat tourer and a Sunbeam Talbot just behind. Haven't seen this car out in a while. Used to go to the likes of the old Piggery, the Combermere. And of course we cannot forget the gorgeous Sunbeam Talbot tourer just behind. That's probably a post-war car, more likely that. We've got the Model T backing into here. Looks nice and toasty in there. TVR Cerbera here also. Beyond the Austin A35 is a beautifully original Ford Capri. It's a 4-cylinder car, this one. A 200 laser, I believe. Got the original Recaro bucket seats. Yeah, it looks great inside. Super clean. I want to say this car is unrestored. It's certainly not had anything done to the interior. 2-litre laser. Yeah, very cool. Immaculate engine. It's a 4-cylinder. Yeah, nice little ducktail spoiler on it as well. Capri's a great shape of car. It looks super clean, this one. Yeah, the engine is fantastic. Is this your car, sir? Your Capri? Yeah, is this a car? Has it been to the Crew Heritage? This car, Crew Heritage meet. Is it unrestored or something? I seem to remember something about it.
It's a lot changed on it.
Right.
I've had this from you.
Oh, that was it. I remember there was something about it. So what year is this one then?
87.
So this has been your car since 1987. Wow, it looks super clean. Has any work done to it?
It's had the odd bit of paint, but it's never had panel on or
Yeah.
like that.
Wow, it looks really lovely. Is this original here? This
No.
big bar? Yeah, I was just thinking that. Bit of bracing.
There's quite a lot been changed on it.
Is it a bit fettled under the bonnet, is it?
Yeah, it's just, there's a list in there. There's quite a lot changed on it, but
Oh, right.
it's all, anything that's been changed I've got that can go back to standard if ever it needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what sort of things have been done to it then? So we've got this big bar here. Oh yeah, I'll have a little look at the list. So this is the information sheet, one owner from 1987. Oh, 1600 to 2 litre. So would this had not have been a 2 litre laser originally? Oh, okay. So like it, you got the badging for a 2 litre laser then.
It's all logbook, it's all legal, but it's
K&N filter, 4-branch manifold, stainless exhaust, strut brace, yeah, some of that. Recaro interior 2.8. So is that like the bucket seats and stuff? Wouldn't I have had that? Yeah, they look good.
2.8 to do with these. 2.8 Capris.
So this wouldn't have had these seats?
No.
Ah, very cool.
Then that, a lad from Bentley made that dashboard.
Oh, wow. So it's had a fair bit of work going on inside here then?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks super, super cool. In this corner, great turnout today at this breakfast car meet. We've got a gorgeous Lotus Elan S4 Coupe in yellow. These are such glorious little cars, really, really love them. Makes modern cars look absolutely massive, lovely interior. This is quite a late car actually, so quite a later style of interior. I want to say like darker wood or something in the later cars, but still just as tiny as the first cars. Yeah, I do like these Elans, especially the little coupes. Yellow is probably one of the best colours as well. Not a Sprint, so not the most serious of them all, but yeah, still a great fun little sports car there. I really love the look of that. And on the other end of the spectrum is this absolutely immaculate Ford Fiesta Mark II Panache. Bit of a limited edition perhaps here, Popular Plus. I believe this car is extremely low mileage. If it's the car I am thinking of, yes. 4,000 miles, I think that is. 4,600 miles in this Ford Fiesta. Yeah, super original car. Don't know if it's had any paintwork or anything. It looks very, very original. So 4,600 miles on this Ford Fiesta from new. What an incredible car. There's an MGTF over there and a TVR Cerbera. Now that is a V8 reg. I know some of those were the 6-cylinder TVR's own engine, but a V8 one, I'm not exactly sure about that. There's a Sunbeam Talbot Tourer just post-war with some lovely spot lamps. Haven't seen this car for quite a while, so it's great to see it out again on this chilly morning. Never seen it with the roof up, which is always brilliant to see. Yeah, it's a glorious looking car at the front of this one. 48, 49, somewhere around that. Super, super great looking car. Is the Ford Model T. I want to say like 1918, 1919. What year is this? You know. Oh, 1930. Oh, right, okay. 1913 Ford Model T. Then love the brass front on this. Not sure I'd want to have a go at driving one of these because these have a very, very strange gear setup on them. And then the side valve engine up front as well. Yeah, what a great sight on this morning. Gotta love the vintage style of seats as well. Yeah, top marks for the oldest car here today. Yeah, struggle to find a space for that. A Chrysler 300. Takes about 5 minutes to drive past me. What an incredible looking car. Next up, an HC Viva in red. A little look at the side valve 4-cylinder engine of this Ford Model T here. Made in USA, inscribed on the top of that. It's an incredible looking car. This, I thought it deserved another look. I like how it says Ford almost all over it. Got Ford on the lamps there, Ford there, contrast our Pilot, which doesn't say Ford on it anywhere. It's such an incredible looking car. So clean as well. It's absolutely immaculate. And top marks for bringing it out on this chilly day. As I said, advised by the owner to call it a pre-war car or pre-Great War car because it even predates World War I. But yeah, great looking car this. Looks like we're starting to expand into the second car park here at the Hopley House. Gonna have to keep talking because of copyrighted music, and of course, very helpfully, the Chrysler 300 is parked right next to it. So a Chrysler 300D here, what an incredible looking car that is. I'm not exactly sure how old it is, sort of 55, 56. There's a Lotus Elan in a gold leaf livery there. Yeah, this is a stunning car. Left-hand drive, of course. I wonder if we could fit in that boot. You often see in the old films people going in the boots. What a stunning car. Looks to be a column shift. Perhaps it's certainly an automatic box, and this one... Yeah, American cars from this era do look very similar. Almost kind of looks like an Oldsmobile. I would have guessed it was an Oldsmobile if it hadn't been for the Chrysler badge on the front, to be honest. I love these mirrors. Just look at those wing mirrors. Wow, they are absolutely incredible. I love those, actually. Yeah, incredible. There's the very cute little Lotus Elan. They're quite a desirable little car, those nowadays. And then is the HC Viva over there. But yeah, this Chrysler is in absolutely impeccable condition. Just look at all the chrome around the front. It's all absolutely immaculate. The wheels as well, I love the style of the wheels as well. Nice bit of white wall action there. Yeah, the lines, especially over the bonnet, I like this little peak that sort of blends back into there. Looks an incredibly straight car, to be honest. Just look at these gaps. When you consider it's such a huge door, the gaps being that tight just shows it's such a good car. Because there's a sort of, with a big door like this, a big heavy door, there's probably a bit of sort of leeway for not quite perfect fit, but this car is just incredible. It's an amazing condition, probably one of the best conditioned cars I've seen here today. Yeah, just the door gaps are so good, it's so beautiful and straight. This car is in absolutely incredible condition. The Peugeot 205 GTI 1.9 has its engine out. This car is in lovely condition. Gotta love the huge alloy wheels that come with the 1.9, the larger engine compared to the 1.6 GTI. In this corner, hiding away, is a TVR Chimera in a bit of a bluey purple, I want to say. I think that's probably the precise factory name for this one. Doesn't say what engine this one is on the back. I think it's like a 400 or something, so a 4-litre V8. And this one, great driving car, I'm sure. Very desirable car, manual, 5-speed, matched up to a naturally aspirated V8. Very great sounding engine. And a really nice shape of car, I think, these TVRs. An MG of the wrong kind, rolling in now. Lovely. Lovely blue Triumph TR6 rolling in now. So we've got the HC Viva, the Triumph TR6, and this a GTD R42. It says on the side. It's got OZ racing wheels. What is this then? I'm trying to figure it out.
Never seen another.
Never seen another.
Well, they made 23, I think.
So what actually is it?
It's a GTD R42 Spectra.
Spectra. Yeah, you've lost me with that one, I'm afraid.
You can research Spectra on the internet.
So is it 90s or something?
37.
Wow, so is it some form of like homologation car or something?
It's more modern GT40.
Right, okay.
So, it's built by GTD that built 300 GT40s.
Yeah.
And the guy behind that company was a guy called Ray Christopher. And he branched out and he wanted to see his own car going up the whole straight.
So this is like a 1997 take on the GT40.
Yeah, so same dimensions.
Oh, right.
Better engine actually, more modern quad cam, 32 valve injected engine, V8.
Wow.
4.6.
What sort of power that made, do you know?
We've never tested it, but they're around 400.
Wow. Yeah, it's a really wild looking thing. Yeah. So it's right-hand drive. So one of about 30 or so, you say? 23 of these around. Oh, right. Oh, right.
And they were serious about it, but they were trying to get 75,000 quid for them back in the mid-90s.
Wow. It's certainly an interesting looking car. It must have been a bit of a...
The actual Lamont winner, Derek Bell,
Yeah.
was one of the directors of the company. They had him on
Oh, right.
advice, you know.
Yeah, it's an incredible looking thing. Never seen anything like this before.
No, it's,
in the afternoon at the optician.
you always know you're going to be the only one.
Yeah, I bet you get quite a few looks on the road driving this. Wow, I didn't even know a car like this existed. Thanks, yeah. Wow, yeah. What an incredible car that is. So it's a 1997 take on the classic Ford GT40. It's huge rims, one of only 23 produced. And they said a few of them go to Sweden, but I don't know how many there would be in the UK. What a fascinating car that is. About 400 brake horsepower. That's incredible, isn't it? It looks almost like the Jaguar XJR 15, I think it is. Very, very similar shape. Yeah, that is an absolutely incredible car. So rare. What a treat that is to see. Yeah, that is an incredible car. I like how you can see the interior through that tiny rear window. It's still got a V8 in it, but a quad cam V8 in this one. Yeah, super cool car. Really like the look at this little mini Mayfair here. Quite a late car actually, but it looks really good. Bit of British racing green and the gold mini lights. I think that sets it off really nicely. Maybe some little bit of wheel spaces going on as well. That's a very characterful little car. And of course, from this absolutely incredibly rare GT40, we've also got next to it a gorgeous Triumph TR6. Bit more of a typical British classic here, eh? Next up, rolling in, is a Spartan kit car and a Triumph TR3A. This is a really cool little car. Just look at the size of the tyres on that. It's a really cool looking car, but yeah, it's got absolutely massive mini lights on that. Sorry, what am I about mini lights? Massive spoke wheels on that. Just look at the width of the tyres on that. Yeah, super cool looking car. Sounds like a fairly straight through exhaust on this TVR Tuscan. Looks like a bit of a modified front to the usual type of Tuscan. Huge tyres on the front. I'm sure even bigger on the back. Yeah, the front's slightly different on the front of that Tuscan than the normal ones. And I can say I do like the look of that. In this corner is the very lovely early Lotus Elise in the gold leaf livery, very iconic Lotus racing livery. Got the Spartan over there, and the huge Chrysler doing a bit of manoeuvring. Another 50-point turn perhaps. Looks like he'll be able to get round. Huge V8 rumbling away. What a spectacular looking thing that is. Bit of a late arrival here is the extremely loud and fantastic sounding TVR Tuscan. You can hear this one coming from a mile away. I'm pretty sure it's a fairly straight through pipe on that straight six. It does sound good when it gets wound up, that car. TVR Tuscan S, just look at those exhausts. The ground is vibrating, and a Capri, the second one here, another very smart looking car. Now this is a 2.8 car. The other car we saw earlier had a chat to the owner, had 2.8 wheels. That looks like that one's had different wheels as well, but yeah, very cool 2.8 Capri. few of the lovely classic cars are steadily trickling out of this little breakfast car meet here at Hopley House, so I think soon we will join them in the V8 Pilot. It's been a really good turnout, lots of nice old cars like this Ford Popular, basically a pre-war design. Then we've got the pre-war or pre-Great War Ford Model T from 1913, plenty sort of classic British economy saloons, Austin A35, Austin 1100, loads of sports cars like the Capri, and also that fascinating Ford GT40 continuation type car. So if you do like this video, please check the channel homepage for similar videos of past events at Hopley House and other breakfast car meets, and even some of the bigger car shows. Uploads every Sunday, so make sure to like the video, subscribe, and come back next Sunday for another automotive upload. Bye for now.